He has always wondered about this. Why is a fully automatic clothes drying rack more expensive than a manual one? Clearly, the installation of the fully automatic one is simpler. Here, installing a manual one costs $600. A fully automatic one costs $1,000 from the experts online. Is it the same where you are? The sizes of the drying racks are similar. The distance between the two holes is 15 centimeters. The length is also marked. It is 119. For this installation template, he hardly uses it. He measures the center point directly with a tape measure. He marks it. Then he splits it from the center point to both sides. The distance between the holes on both sides is 119. He divides it from the center to both sides. That means half is 59.5. The width between the two holes is 15 centimeters. If split in half to both sides, that is 7.5. He measures all these dimensions. He makes the marks. Next, he drills a hole at the marked position. Since the ceiling is integrated, he uses a screwdriver to mark the spot on the concrete ceiling. Then he removes these boards. If he has a long drill bit, there's no need to remove them. He can also extend the power line for convenience. He needs to make a hole in the middle integrated board. He pulls the wires down. Next, it's time to drill. Typically, he uses a 12 mm drill bit. The expansion screws are 8 mm. The drilling depth is about 4 centimeters. He has two types of expansion screws. The 15 mm one is too short. The 20 mm one is too long. The sealing distance is 12.5. The drilling depth is 4 centimeters. The expansion screw is 20 centimeters. So he needs to trim this expansion screw a bit. He first marks the sleeve. He checks if the screw can still be tightened. The screw cap length is sufficient. He reassembles the integrated board he just removed. Then he secures the expansion screw. Using a hanging rod would actually be more convenient. However, he has not, since he doesn't install drying racks often. Before installing the beam frame, he needs to tighten the expansion screw. After securing it, he removes the screw cap. Doesn't it seem like a joke? Tightening then loosening. What's the reason for this? You'll find out soon. There are two caps at both ends of the drying rack. He first removes these caps. He connects the power line of the drying rack. Extending the wire has its advantages. It makes wiring more convenient. The key point comes now. The earlier loosening of the screw cap was for this, to insert one end first. Then he secures the other end. This makes it easier for one person to install. Using expansion screws, he can prepare larger washers. Now he starts the installation. This hinge has two sliding tracks on both sides. He directly places the hinge inside. The two metal plates in the middle are secured with screws. Then he hooks the wire into the small hole below. Next, he begins to secure the drying rod. He first secures the one with the round hole for hanging the drying rack. For easier installation, he lowers the drying rack. This rod is generally used for larger items, like comforters or bed sheets. There is a connector between the two rods. He connects these two rods with two nails. This plastic cover has a small protrusion. It needs to pass through this hole. This is considered a decoration. After all, exposed metal plates do not look good. The purpose of these two metal plates is for convenience. When not in use, this rod can be stored on top. The last step is to tighten the cover again. He usually doesn't install many drying racks. There are some mistakes in this video. He needs everyone's guidance. Mainly, fans contacted him. They asked him to post an installation tutorial for an automatic drying rack. So, he humbly presents this. Thank you all for watching. Please provide more feedback.